Hi, friends. It's Matt from Dream English, and I want to welcome you to the Dream English Teaching Tips Podcast video version. Today, I'm going to be talking with my friend Miriam. Miriam teaches young learners in Brazil, and she has a lot of great ideas for teaching and bringing joy to your classes. You can follow Miriam at teacher Miriam underscore on Instagram, and I'll put a link to her Instagram page in the notes to the show. So why don't we get started? And I hope you enjoy my conversation with teacher Miriam. Okay, hello everybody. I'm very excited to be here today with Miriam. Miriam is in Brazil. Is that right, Miriam? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Miriam has been on the podcast before. I'll put links to those in the info. And Miriam, please tell us a little bit about who you teach and your
Yes,
teaching.
yes. So it's very good to be back one more time,
Oh,
having
thank
this
you.
opportunity to talk about, teach English with joy, which I do here in Brazil. I have been teaching very young learners and primary students. This is my public. I like to teach kids, man. I really like. I teach adults. I have been teaching adults too, but if my coordinator says to me, okay, what kind of students do you prefer? I would say, okay, I will teach the primary.
Hmm,
Let them with me. So I have been teaching English. English in Brazil is the second language, and for me to teach English with joy, it's very good because kids will enjoy the process of learning.
right.
So nowadays I teach all day long, a full-time job, just teaching face-to-face class, and I have a few students, and I teach online classes too as well.
Oh, wow.
So yes, I do. I do. I have two students that I'm teaching online too. So I've been
Oh,
teaching English for the last 12 years. I've been teaching.
wow. You're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
busy.
Yes, yes. I've been working a lot, involving with some projects, which I am so excited about to tell you
Yeah,
about some
so
new.
tell me, I know you mentioned to me that you're involved in a book. Can you tell me about that? I'd love to hear about it.
Yes, yes. We have some publishers here in Brazil that they have invited some co-authors to contribute to a book. So I have one book that I was the coordinator, and then we were talking in Portuguese about. I know that we are in a podcast, but this is the book that I am the coordinator, and this
Okay.
says practical ideas for kids. This says Práticas de Inglês na infância. It's all about practical ideas to teach kids.
Oh,
In this article, I talk about TPR, the total physical response, to teach with moves in the class, teach kids
oh,
with
great.
moves. Yes, yes. And I had another opportunity to write an article for another book. This
Wow.
is this is very special because on this book I write for parents and
Oh, okay.
yes, and I wrote on this book about how to teach kids with interactive videos. So
Oh,
I use a lot, and I have here actually, I will show you something that I think you might like. One of this book is also in Portuguese, okay?
okay.
But all the links, all the videos that we suggest, it's in English. And my very first suggestion here, it's one channel that you might know. It says Dream English Kids. I have
Hey.
I have here too. This is the QR code that they visit your channel,
Oh, that's so
and
cool.
yes, and the parents they can get to know all the videos that you offer to teach kids.
Well,
So
thank you so much. I appreciate that.
oh, yes, and I like because I use your videos a lot to teach English, and of course that I add a little bit of joy with my visuals. So
Okay.
that's what I like to teach with videos, but not just watching. So I try to have them connected with the videos.
And interact. That's great. Well, thank you so much for mentioning Dream English in your books. That's so cool. I will put Can people buy those online if I put links? Because
Yes, we have the Kindle version, and it's free if you have the limited version, a limited edition in Kindle, so they can get it for free, and they can get the digital version that it's really, it's cheap because we have the money is different and is in Portuguese. Let me
right,
emphasize this,
yeah,
but we have some. Maybe you might know. I don't know. Maybe you might find some. Portuguese or Brazilian people in our country that they are interested in teaching English to their
well,
kids, maybe.
yeah, well, for sure, and also I think a lot of people who follow the Dream English pages and listen to the podcast as well are from
Mhm.
Brazil or even maybe Portugal, some Portuguese speaking places. So I'm sure they'll be
Yes,
happy to learn about it. I have a quick
yes.
question. That you mentioned one of the articles is about TPR,
Uh-huh.
and I would love to hear just a little idea about how to use TPR in classes for children, because I use TPR as well, but I'd love to hear how you use it.
Yes, because I believe, Matt, that we have to connect with the kids. And the way I connect is not just speaking, because some of them, they are not verbal. So I
Uh,
have to myself, I have to give them some movements. For example, if I tell them, okay, let's clap your hands, I have to start doing the action the
mm-hmm.
same time say. So I say, let's clap your hands. I
Right, right.
show them, I say the action, and they look at me. I am always the model. So
Mm,
this, I am always the example for them. For example, okay, let's stomp our feet. I start stomping my feet,
right,
and
right,
this way, look at me. Sometimes, special very young learners, 3 or 4 years old, they are not speaking already,
right.
but they are listening to me and they get the connection, and then they make the action. So this is the way I always like to do, or I ask them. Another example of TPR, it's, for example, if I say listen to me, I always put my hand in the ear cup, a position, and I say, okay,
Mm,
listen.
mm-hmm.
I have some students say, okay, teacher, listen. They
Uh,
copy,
that's
they
great.
copy. Yes, so this is a good way that I can create the connection with the meaning of the word, and I don't have to translate. That's the point.
Right.
Eh, Especially here in Brazil, because if I don't do this, I will have to translate. I will have to say it in Portuguese, and won't be a
Mm,
good idea. So
right.
I always to bring the action. As soon as I say the action, I act the way I want them to copy me. So, and then I
Mhm.
play the song. If I have an action song, and then I do the song. This is one of the practical ideas that I give to some teachers, especially the beginners. We have in Brazil nowadays so many schools are called bilingual schools. So,
Okay.
so many schools are starting this business. So they need some
Mm.
practical ideas. So we try in a kind of way help them.
That's so great. That's so great. So, okay, so in Brazil, is that a new thing, the bilingual schools, or it's been around, or
It's been around, but now there is a boom. We
oh,
have we have a law that we have some specifications about how to be a bilingual school. So many teachers are now getting the professional development to get ready to work in a bilingual school, because especially after the pandemic time, the English, the globalization,
mm,
the English area gets bigger. So nowadays, parents are looking for having their kids starting to learn English earlier.
oh,
So,
interesting. Very interesting.
and this way, we need to help, teaching the kids.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you're a great resource for those teachers with your experience and
Try,
great.
I try, I try to inspire them. I
Oh,
try.
that's great. That's wonderful. So,
Yes.
and you mentioned that there's a song that you sing with your students and you use other props or things like that to help teach.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that idea?
And especially on this book that I've told you that I have these kind of suggestions and tips for parents. For example, do you know your song? Of course, you know a song when you teach about the traffic light. I have here in my hand a prop that I've made
Ah,
myself with the traffic light with the colors red, yellow, and green.
okay.
Or sometimes I make a little bit bigger. I have, with foam paper, and then I paste on my wall with the signs. So if I am teaching about means of transportation, I can use this song. Or if I am teaching about colors, I can also use this song. So I like to make the sign of the traffic light and hang on the wall. And I also do some, look with the straw.
Mm,
I like to use simple material, okay?
right, right. But it's
Very simple
perfect.
material.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, the kids will enjoy because sometimes, Matt, I can have them holding the paper and
Mm-hmm.
maybe I make the circles for them. And then I have the green and this is a song that I use TPR. I teach the red is go and then I do
Mm-hmm.
the action go. When I show them the yellow, yellow is slow. And then I speak slowly and I walk slowly. And then red is stop. So I have two signs here. I have one with
Uh,
the word stop
uh-huh.
and the red. And then I go with, okay, everybody stops. Everybody stops and I said, don't move. The
Mm-hmm.
car cannot move. So I try to make this kind of funny. In a big circle. How about if you play the song and then I could manipulate, you know,
Okay.
what do you think?
Sure, let's try it.
Yeah,
As I mentioned
just
before, I haven't played this song for a while, so
no problem. Just for me to manipulate. I know that we are in a podcast, but just for me to manipulate, the props I have, and this way we can just move our bodies.
well, I think I'll have to post this somewhere so that people can see it because yeah, I'll post it so people can see it because it's great. It's
Right.
very helpful. People
Yes,
need to see
yes,
it
yes, I think it will
visually
be.
to learn too. So
Yes.
okay, so let's try it. So I can't remember how it starts, but green,
Let's start with
green, go, 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 go. Yellow is slow, 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 slow. Red is stop. One more time.
green, and
Green,
then
go, 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 go. Yellow is slow, slow, slow. Red is stop. Yeah.
and
Let me see.
yeah.
Yellow, yellow, red. Stop. Green, 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 green. Go. I can't remember that part, but something like that. That's so great. Yeah. The students must love that.
Yes, and this way, of course, I can also use some, the balls that we have in
Oh,
the pool.
okay.
You can also use balls and have the kids holding the balls in the colors. Actually, this is blue. I didn't find my green. So you can have the balls or maybe red circles made of papers and have the kids enjoying the song and making the moves. This
Mhm.
way they will listen. Look how many abilities they are practicing. Listening, moving their bodies. And the thing is, Matt, they go home singing the song. This is the best part
Right, right.
because when we have the visuals and they visualize, okay, maybe some of them don't know how to say green correctly, but they recognize. So this
Mm-hmm.
is the best part. And they go home singing because they had fun, a fun time in the classroom. And I remember in the meeting, the parents' meeting, one of the parents told me, "Teacher, did you teach about the traffic light?" I said, "Yes." And then he mentioned that his little son was saying, Daddy, uh, party in Portuguese, which
Mm-hmm.
means stop, because the color is red. He didn't remember to say stop,
Mm.
but he remembered the color. So he
Ah,
he was connecting. He was
right, right,
connecting.
right.
So this is why I like to use the visuals,
Mm-hmm.
because otherwise I have to translate. If I have to just say, okay guys, what color is this? What color is this? So I do this in some point, but to
Right.
introduce the topic, I like to bring more visual for them.
Well, yeah, that's super great, because children learn in different ways. Some children are visual learners, some children learn better by hearing, and it's also the combination of all that really helps imprint on the students. So, and your
Yes.
joy, I think, is helpful.
Yes, yes. And the thing is, because for example, we have so many videos that we can use to teach kids, but not just watching, looking at the
Yeah,
TV.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Before I start a video, I always ask them to stand up. Okay, guys, let's stand up. Look at me.
Mm,
And
right,
then I play the video. So I have them to know the actions, because this way they will connect easily. And all of a sudden, maybe after the repetition, because I have to play 2 or 3 times, of
right, right.
course, you need to have the repetition for them to memorize it. They go home singing. So English outside the classroom.
That's so
So
great.
it's good.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. Thank you so
Thank
much for sharing this. Do you have any other things you'd like to share? I think we have to get going here pretty soon, but you've already shared a lot, but any other last words or something to tell teachers?
Yes, I would say that always try to look at your topic and try to think about how can I have fun with this?
Mm,
How can I have, because when I have fun, I'm pretty sure that my kids will have fun too. For example, I've made just two simple props with yes and no, thumbs up, thumbs down. When I am asking them, hello, how are you today? Are you happy or sad? Are you happy? Yes or no? And they keep saying, yes. I said, okay. But one student maybe will say, no. At that moment, I stop and I ask, oh, why are you not happy?
mm,
What's the problem? So I find a way using the props. I find a way to get a connection with my students. So I always tell the teachers, try to have fun and try to create connections with your students. This way, the environment is going to be better for me and for my students, especially kids, right? Because kids are always they are honest, right, man?
yeah, yeah,
They
very
say
honest.
what they feel.
Yeah.
So I always say to teachers, try to look at your topic and bring some movements and try to have some fun, because this way the kids will be happy and we are going to be happy too in the end. I hope so.
Yeah,
If
that's so great. I love it. I should use more props with my students. I think that's really good.
yeah, I could give you a lot of tips, okay, using your songs and with props. I can
Well,
send to you. I can make here in Brazil and send it to you.
oh, thank you. It's so nice. Well, well, we'll have to come back again maybe next year and do another one, and maybe if there's another song that we could do,
Yes,
that would be super fun.
I will share. I will share in my Instagram account for sure.
That's great. Well, and yeah, so I will put in for everybody listening and watching, I will put in the notes how to follow Miriam on Instagram. And
Thank you.
um, yeah, this has been great. Thank you so much for taking the time
Thank
on your
you.
busy schedule. And it's always fun to talk to you, and I learn a lot. So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for this amazing opportunity. I hope to be able to inspire some teachers out there here in Brazil and out of it. So thank you one more time.
I think so. You're very welcome. Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for your support. Be sure to follow Teacher Miriam on Instagram And sign up for the newsletter, the Dream English newsletter. It's something new. I'm going to be sending out teaching tips every week, hopefully every week. And I'll put a link to that in the notes to this video. So thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye. See you. Thank you. Goodbye.